Well, Broncos Country,
Suck.
normally this year, it's been the worst thing ever. But today I have felt better than I have felt in a long time after a loss. I just feel like a glimmer of hope has arisen. And although Russell Wilson got hurt, Brett Rippon stepped up as well. This was a turning point for what should have been. It is a glimmer of what we should have seen all along. Russ being our number one rusher today is a microcosm of what I wanted to see at least out of him. And we saw it today. What a phenomenal performance at a loss. I can't believe I'm so happy that finally we got the overs, boys. We got the overs. And Broncos covered in the loss. But hey, Jerry Jeudy, hats off to you. Holy cow. Josie Jewell, career day. We've got a lot to talk about. Got a lot of feelings. I'm so excited to get into it. Let's go with the Buck Your Feelings podcast. Well, what's up here, folks? It is the Buck Your Feelings podcast. I am your host, Jay Weaver, here with my cousin, the Viking himself, Johnny Baki. There he is.
What is up, Broncos Country? Hey, you know what? You know what? Look above us. Look above us, right? We lost.
Yep.
We lost for the 14th time in a row to Kansas City. But you know what? I'm not upset right now.
Yeah.
I'm not upset right now. I am. I wanted the dub. I wanted the dub. But you know what? I'm not hurting. I'm not sitting here like mourning and feeling like, why do I even bother anymore? Like, I'm not feeling any of that after this one. Finally, like, oh my God, I can hear Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, in my ear going, finally, the Broncos look like they should.
And totally redeem yourself.
Perfect soundbite for this moment. Look, we lost, but ultimately, Jay, our team played their hearts out. They left nothing on the field. And at the end of the day, they, like you said, they gave us hope. Now, I don't know how you feel about this. That hope.
Hope is a strong word.
We're talking like walking a razor's edge between hope and what's another word for it? Trying to think. Not false hope, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to the peekaboo, the I got you. It's
dangerous.
I don't want to be tricked. I have been tricked before. There's been plenty of times where my sports team, I've been tricked. Our heart wants to be into it. I so desperately want this team to be back.
I can't get this beer open. This is not good.
Well, let's start the insanity.
I just man, I feel better about where we could be headed with Russell Wilson, because I finally got to see him like actually show up and show out.
Yeah.
I saw a different Russell Wilson today. It's
Andy came out with a mirage.
Yeah,
Possible
it
mirage.
It is of like, holy, what? Wait a second.
Yeah.
Oh, you're here? Oh, you're here? Like, oh, this is the team that can put up 21 points like in a 3-minute span? Like, boom, okay, like, we'll turn it on. Like, that's what we all have had in the back of our head, what we were getting from the first snap week 1.
But we didn't just turn it on. Well, first of all, huge shout out, right, to the sponsor of today's show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm going to go ahead and bring that up right here, right now. Guys, please give us some love to the sponsor of today's show, Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend. Each drink coming from Dubby contains at least 2 coffee cups worth of caffeine. But absolutely, nice. I love it. But absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, no maltodextrin fillers or artificial colors, and it's chock full of B vitamins, amino acids, and a neuroenhancer that ups your reflexes and keeps you sharp in the head. You get 30 drinks out of 1 cup. And guys, when you check out our friends over at Dubby, make sure, please, to jump on in and use code. I had it there. There it is. Use code NRWOB10 for 10% off your order at checkout. Guys, get you some jitterless energy. Dubby.gg. Or again, NRWOB10 gets you 10% off at checkout.
All right. Like, whoa. One more thing.
Okay.
We've got. Well, is it even good? Is it doing it? Oh my God. All right. Is it showing?
Yeah,
No.
I see it. No,
Right.
Here. There you go.
Okay.
There you go, big guy.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your assistance. At least I didn't have to call tech support. But
I was gonna say you are so tech handicapped.
I really am. Especially with the emotional roller coaster of that game, and just all the great vibes. Got great vibes. Speaking of vibes, I mean, there's tons of ways to put vibes out. There was a podcast back in the day where we talked about vibes. We talked about what it is. What is swag? You know what? Well, you know what? This is all swag. All these designs, throwing it out there, telling the people, mile high five, get it going. It's pretty good stuff. High
quality and comfortable.
Absolutely. And, we got products for everybody. Kids, women, men, all of them. Accessories.
Babies.
Yep. Absolutely.
Even your dog.
For sure. I mean, we even have stickers. Stick them everywhere. Stop signs. Everywhere. Just do it.
Good stop signs. Jay, we do not condone such vandalism.
Well, yeah. Not me personally, but I know.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys, for checking that out. That's the show. I'm kidding. Let's go.
Yep. And we're out. But seriously, speaking of out, I don't know. I'm just ready to be out with the bad vibes that we've had leading up to this game, even the entertainment value of the game. Whether we win or lose, it's just wow, that game was entertaining. I felt entertained after that game.
It was a good game.
It was a good game.
We saw good play from both teams. We saw a first half that was pretty abysmal. And all of us are sitting there thinking to ourselves, oh, not this shit again.
Mm-hmm.
And then, or it was either that or it was, oh, here we go. Here's this shit again. But either way, we didn't want it. And then just a couple of little turning points. And somehow this team finally turned the corner when and they made some waves.
I thought
it sent a message, whether it's a good message or a bad message. It sent a message to the NFL. Hey, we may have sucked this season, but watch out for us because we are not out.
This is going to be a head turner for a lot of people looking at just general scores around the league for today. I mean, for us to not only put up the amount of points that we did, a season high, but it was the closeness. It was 6 points, 6-point difference, 1 possession game. Buddy. I mean, that's just huge.
Touchdown for touchdown, we scored the same amount. The Kansas City Chiefs just happened to have 2 field goals up on us.
Yeah.
That's
pretty true. It couldn't have come against a better team, too, because I just cannot stand the Chiefs. I can't stand Chief fans.
Oh, me either. Oh,
I mean, they're just the worst. They don't know how to win, so like they're not good winners when they do win. So this whole aspect of Patrick Mahomes era here, it's been rough. They said it's like now the Broncos finally get a taste of what everyone else got to feel for the Elway years,
and we have plenty of our friends here in the chat agreeing with us.
Very much so.
Dave comes in. Our boy Dave comes in. Congrats to Jay for finally hitting the over.
Finally. Oh my gosh.
It worked, okay?
That is a huge deal in and itself. I just give one for the overs. Finally.
Yeah, finally. I mean,
eventually I was gonna win. Eventually.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you bet it all on black, eventually it's gonna land on black. But
eventually,
you might have lost millions of dollars in the process. But anyway,
probably. I'm still
our buddy Andy Strand. It's good to see you, Andy. Says Hackett and Peyton are the true problems with this team. Even though the Chiefs led us in the game, and we don't know how Russell will look in the coming weeks, he has heart, and we need a change. I disagree about Peyton. I agree about Hackett. I do not think George Payton is the problem. I think Peyton may have made a mistake when he chose Hackett over, say, someone with more experience. But honestly, from everything that I've been able to see up to that point, that was his first real mistake that he's made. Correct me if I'm wrong.
We'll see. The jury's still out on Randy Gregory.
But see, Randy Gregory came after Hackett.
True.
So I'm saying up to that point, that was his first real mistake that he had made.
I guess up to that point, I can follow that then. Yeah, I would say so. I would say you're right.
I wouldn't say he's on like thin ice. I would say, he's gonna have to make some decisions that will to show the new ownership, hey, we're turning this around and I'm gonna be the man to do it. He's gonna have to do that. But I don't think
he went from like a Joe Sakic GM,
here we go,
high regard to like, bump down, like, Peyton, wow.
But that's it. I mean, he's not out. Okay, he's not Matt Rule or whatever.
True.
Right now he's not going to be jobless. Okay, if they fire Hackett, Peyton will still be there. I guarantee it. And I like it. I'm still way on the Peyton train.
I'm still wearing my Russell Wilson gear.
Right. I am too. I didn't wear it today. This isn't a complete
miss yet. The jury's still out on this trade. The worst trade in NFL history. It's not over. And
not even close.
The Hall of Famer that is involved in this has something to say about it. And today's the day where he just kind of put his foot down and literally just started running.
In the pregame, in the telecast, in the pregame. I can't remember who it was that said it. It might have been Brandon Gaudin. I can't remember. But he said, he talked to Russ this week. And Russ knows that these numbers are abysmal. He knows that things are not going the way that it was, one, expected, two, that he desired. But he's not giving up, and he never will. I believe Russ is going to be one of those quarterbacks that's going to have to be drugged from the field, kicking and screaming as an old man before he retires. He loves this game,
and it's just so sad to see the flash in the pan, and then Andy comes back seriously with kind of where my mind was of I hope this injury isn't a pivot of like, oh wow, he finally clicked, and that's when he gets some massive head injury that like
it's like
jars him to right back to where he started. Like
totally, you know what it reminds me of? Completely offensive movies in this day and age. Like, I love them. I absolutely love them. But you could not make these movies now. But Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's the scene when Blinken's in the watchtower, the blind guy. And he's like, Blinken, what are you doing up there? And he goes, guessing? I guess no one's coming. Come down. He goes to climb down, knocks the ladder down, falls out of the lookout stand, hits the ground, gets up and goes, oh, I can see. Turns and runs smack into a tree and then goes, nope, I was wrong. Like, that's exactly what that would be. That is exactly what that would be. But, I don't think it is. Like I said to you, Jay, in the, before we went live, excuse me, this cough, you guys, I'm so sorry.
Man, I'm sick too.
From what I know, but at least you're not drugged up this week. I can totally tell, the difference.
That's true.
Yeah. But anyway, like I said it to you, Jay, in the pregame. Ooh, that label came off nice. Anyway, we saw him on the sidelines after his injury, after Brett threw in that touchdown pass for the hat trick to Jerry Jeudy.
Gosh.
Oh my God. But anyway, we saw Russ. We'll get to that for sure, right? But
yeah,
we saw Russ on the sidelines. He was walking around. He was already out of the blue tent. He walked up and he gave Brett a hug and patted him on the head. He looked like himself.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I don't think this was a very severe injury. I think he got dazed and precautionary. They kept him out. Even if he didn't completely clear concussion protocol, the way he was walking around, the way he was moving, and my personal experience with traumatic brain injury,
I just saw those eyes when he was on the ground and he had his eyes open.
They were wide open.
His eyes just looked dead though. Like,
it was dazed. He was dazed.
Yeah.
Dazed and confused. Huh. Anyway.
It's very true. But I don't know. I'm very hopeful for that. But just in an overall sense, I just feel so good for this team to get so many turnovers as well. That's another, I guess, layer to this game. But we got Ty in here as well. What's up, Ty?
Ty?
There's
is my friend Ty Y. Earlier today, Ty Y asked Isaiah if he could come live with one of us.
Come on in, man. Open door.
Got more room. I think you got more room than I do at this point.
Dude, come on in. I literally, if you're a Bronco fan, you're always welcome through that door. I got a Bronco family sign right there. Come on in.
Dude, look at this. Oh man, just continuing with the movie references. I like him now. I'm sitting here hearing Chris Tucker in my head. Mama, man, you got knocked up. Ow.
Seriously.
He did. But I think he's okay, and I think he'll be back by next week. Honestly, by next week.
I don't know. Ty makes a great. I don't know. You know how comedians are taught to go out when you're on a high, when okay, and that's it for me, folks. Good night. I think that's a Seinfeld episode as well. Maybe that's what it is for
you
Russ.
And your Seinfeld references.
Russ can, he.
How about you give it a sitcom from this century? How about that? I'm joking. I love Seinfeld.
Yeah, I was gonna say there are no good shows of this century. Like,
hello, dude. How I Met Your Mother? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's up there. That's up there. But I digress. Digress. If Russ really is out, and that might be that, I'd be fine with that. Like I said, I guess I said this pre-show here, but like, we better hang on to this glimmer of hope, this feeling we got right here, because we may not see that flash again this year. That's entirely possible. This might be an outlier at this point in time in the process. That's the outlier. This is going to be common occurrence next year.
You bite your tongue, son. Anyway, no. I don't think it's just a flash. I don't think it's a flash in the pan. Jerry Jeudy is on fire. Greg Dulcich is on fire. We are seeing the emergence. Look, no offense to Cortland Sutton. I've loved Court for a very long time. Okay? Jerry Jeudy just solidified himself as wide receiver 1. I'm just saying. For now, with Russ, well, I guess with Brett too. I mean, 2 touchdowns from Russ, 1 from Rip. But again, he's making a strong case to be wide receiver 1 for this team. And Greg Dulcich, I think it's indisputable at this point at the tight end position.
He's being given opportunities as well, and he's stepping up as a rookie. Like, it's not
big time.
That's what's crazy to me for that position.
Mm-hmm. And really, the only real miss he had, I think he had what, two missed catches.
Yeah,
one was because he got boxed out hard, and the other one was because he fell down. Before he kind of turned and fell and just couldn't get his hands to the ball.
Like what Andy's saying here, like, even if the rest of the season is complete hell, like we have something to hold on to now. We really do. We have evidence. We finally have evidence to point to that it's not just in our head of like what we see on paper. Like, it all clicked for just a small amount of time today for that.
Yeah, it did.
Jerry Jeudy included. Jerry Jeudy.
Well, look at that. Jerry Jeudy's, the excitement on his face after he caught that first touchdown pass was mirrored by the excitement on his face on the second and the third. That was him being like, "It's my time, baby.
Yeah,
I'm here now."
I
love it. Ties agreeing. It was great. Dulcich's game was great. Let's talk about freaking Mike Boone, babe. What? Look, dude, our running back room has been absolutely decimated.
Yeah.
And he comes in and runs, what was it, 63-yard? I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Well, Marlon Mack, I'm floored that he is like a practice squad player. I remember Marlon Mack with the Colts being like, wow, this
was that Marlon Mack that made that run, or was it Boone?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
No, that was Marlon Mack.
I'm sorry, I meant Mack. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Mike
Mack.
Boone, I had Mike Boone on the brain because he got knocked out.
Mike Boone did pretty well too. But Marlon Mack is, I'm just surprised that this is where he is in his career. I knew he could do those things. I've seen those plays out of Marlon Mack before. So
that's why that's why I knew, that's why we knew his name when we heard he was coming to Denver. We're like, oh yeah, I know who Marlon Mack is.
Yep. I guess I say the exact same thing about Latavius Murray.
Yeah.
Like, wow, why are you on our practice squad? Like,
exactly.
what?
Well, it's because they're aging. Honestly, that's what it is.
That's the sign of the running back position.
Well, it is. It is the most easily devastated physical position on the field.
Yep. Short shelf life.
A very short shelf life. Look at Terrell Davis.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer. Had a lot left in the tank, but eventually it caught up to him. And he couldn't go out on the high note you'd hope. Still a Hall of Famer, still TD. Which, by the way, loving Christmas movies right now. It's finally time. Now I can finally get on board with watching the Christmas movies. It's in July when my wife is watching Hallmark Channel's Christmas in July that I'm like, would you turn that crap off, please?
Yeah, gross.
It's summer. You know what I mean? But I am enjoying watching some Christmas movies. I've been watching all the classics, Elf, Christmas Story, all of them. I watched Jack Frost for the first time in years today.
And I can't watch that movie anymore. That movie makes me so sad.
You know what? I love that movie. But anyway,
it's a sad movie.
It was so cool seeing Michael Keaton walk into his son's room in that movie. And right there on the wall is the poster of John Mobley, Terrell Davis, and John Elway. Right, along with the pennant, the Broncos Super Bowl 32 pennant that I had on my wall as a kid that is hanging up over there right now. And
I forgot about that.
And all the posters of the Colorado Avalanche and the pillows. And I'm sitting there like, yes, yes, yes. I loved it. I was so excited. I looked at my wife and she was like, you're such an idiot. And I'm like,
it's a possible moment.
I was like, my favorite part of the whole movie right there. See that the kids loves his Colorado sports. Yeah. But anyway, so I like this. I liked what Andy said about bringing Sean McVay here. Actually, I don't even think we really need. We wouldn't have to pony up the dough for a trade because after this season, McVay's contract expires with.
And he intentionally is not signing another one. Like,
not with them.
He's not
with the Saints.
To be a Rams head coach. It's just that it's not going to happen.
Not with any of them.
Word on the street is he's already got a contract with Fox, but I don't know if that is
Look,
a real thing or not.
Maybe, but at the same time, like, change of scenery.
We have the richest owners in sports in North America, so they can give him a blank check if that's really what they want. Like, price is no object to our owners.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Well, who was the Sean that was the coach of the Saints? Sean
Payton.
Yeah,
well, that's
Sean
what
Payton.
Andy's saying is that he would rather have McVay than Payton.
Maybe, but I'm just saying, at least in Payton, at least in Sean Payton, you have a very experienced head coach. I'm just saying, it'd be like, to me that Sean Payton. Like, here's the thing, we talked about it. You remember last week we talked about how the difference between Vic Fangio and Nathaniel Hackett, it was like we went from one extreme to the other.
Yep.
There was no middle ground. Sean Payton's right in the middle.
Yeah.
He is that coach that would split the difference between being your best friend and being the ball busting asshole. Sorry, I've been cursing a lot of this episode.
It's
Hope
true.
My mom's not watching. But that's why I like the idea of maybe Payton or McVay or even Dan Quinn. I'm just saying.
I'm kind of indifferent on Dan Quinn. I don't want a defensive head coach. I mean,
then get off the Ejiro Evero train, because that's exactly what that would be.
See, but that's the only thing, because I don't want to change our defense. I'm fine with that, because that wouldn't change our defense. I don't understand why we would bring in a new defensive scheme when we're fine. Like,
I can agree with that. Yeah.
So
Andy says it here. Hack is just such a soft individual, and can
we talk about how weird that goatee looks on him? That does not look.
You know
like
what?
He
I
should
like
have
it actually. It
just looks like different. I don't know. Like, that's just
as the man with the facial hair of our family.
This is true.
Our entire family.
You have enough for a couple individuals. You'd spare some.
You're right. Well, I'm not. Grow your own damn facial hair, but the point is, I actually like it, man. Oh, that's fine. That's fine, Andy. I mean, my wife hates it too, but I still refuse to shave it off. So,
Well,
oh, you mean on Hackett? My bad.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Actually, I really didn't just get that.
Oh okay.
It's been a slow day here. It's been a slow day.
Yeah, I know, for real. Are you sure you're not still on them COVID drugs?
No, but I'm like, I can't breathe, so I'm a mouth breather.
You sound like a pug. Stop it.
It's terrible. Terrible, Chuck. It's terrible. Oh,
that's terrible.
Andy Hoozle. These Denver Broncos, I'm just excited that it came against Kansas City. We've got one more crack at them in Kansas City. I really hope.
And that was the next point that I actually wanted to make, was like, guys, don't freak out yet. We get another opportunity at them this year. Like, look, would I have wanted to break the losing streak this week? Yeah, damn right I would. But we didn't. Okay. We still get another chance at them. And if there's one thing we just showed, don't underestimate us.
This was the closest we've been to beating them since the Case Keenum, Emmanuel Sanders was wide open on that back corner of the end zone. That was a dagger.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yep. But we were close. Very close.
Look, and the thing is, okay, every game, think about this for a second, then I want to get to Ty-Wise question here, or comment. But, every game we've lost has been within one score, right?
It's true.
We've kept that going. But at the beginning of the game, it looked like we were going to literally get teabagged.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't. We came back and we were like, nope, you know what? If we're going to lose, we're going to lose by one score. That's our status quo right now. We're going to right now. We're going to keep it close.
In my opinion, the biggest catalyst for that is Josie Jewell.
Absolutely.
Josie Jewell put this team on his back and just let him have it.
On his massive triceps, yeah.
Yeah. I've definitely the best game of his career by far.
Easily. Easily. He was wearing, in fact, how many weeks have I been praising Alex Singleton every game?
Yep.
And I don't think I have any reason to say his name at all tonight, except to say that I don't have anything to say about him tonight.
I've been very critical of our linebackers. Very
yes.
critical. Josie Jewell has changed in my book. He's a guy.
He deserves his contract.
Yep,
he deserves his contract.
I
love the outlaw.
The other side wide open because where missing poster for Jonas Griffith. Where is he? Haven't seen him or said his name. I feel like this entire year.
Yeah,
completely.
Alex
wrong.
Singleton came in and became the leading tackler on this team.
Yep.
After literally not starting. So
he's overperformed.
He is overperformed, and Josie showed why he is the undisputed leader of the linebacker corps.
Yep.
And absolutely,
it's true.
Absolutely.
That was the swing, and
it was.
we
talk about how perfect those 2 interceptions were. 2
Yeah.
interceptions by Josie Jewell. I think that's only his fifth interception of his career is that first one. So you see this dude go that, but both of them were executed almost exactly the same. He caught them with both hands. He dove for them. They were perfect picks. Couldn't have read Patrick Mahomes' intentions better.
I had no idea that he could move his hips like that. When you're in coverage, you have to turn your hips like that to be able to get your face back around to see a ball.
Absolutely.
To see what's going on.
And he did it.
We could do that.
Yeah, I know.
Pretty incredible.
It was insane. Like I said, both those picks he made, you could tell it wasn't like luck. It wasn't like, oh, snap, and it was there. No, it was like you could tell he read Patrick Mahomes' face, who tried to fake him out. And Josie's like, no, I see exactly what you're doing. And he made these, one on Travis Kelce and one in front of, who was he throwing to? Was it Scantling? I think it was the other one was off of Scantling, a pass intended for Scantling. Either way, he read the intentions and he's like, nope, this is my ball. Let's go. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Josie Jewell, you are my green dot, honey bear. We love you on this show. All right. And I'm going to get him on this show. I swear to God.
He's earned my respect. He has earned a spot of all right, we're good on that side for our depth chart. I love it. I'm all good. Not a need from a draft perspective. And speaking of not a need for a draft perspective, PS2 just continues to just be PS2. He just
almost unmentionable because he was so good that Mahomes wasn't throwing his direction
just
until he did.
Yeah,
and then
casual, I'll just tip it to myself off the ground.
Off the ground. And thank God for camera angles being able to catch it from all angles to show that it in fact was a catch. Because a few years ago with the limited camera angles, that would have been called an incomplete pass.
Yeah, and I would agree.
So looking at, now they have so many different angles to review from, them being able to be like, oh yeah, that was an interception. Yep. That was great. I do want to go up here. Ty comes in talking back on the coaching thing. I have to disagree with him here, but I want to read it. He says nobody agrees with him, but he wants Lincoln Riley from USC. Has already made 3 quarterbacks into Heisman winners as a coach. He is amazing. But
the main thing of that is Heisman.
Indeed.
Do you want Baker Mayfield? Do you want Kyler Murray? I don't want either of those.
Well, I'm not even going that far. I think some coaches, we've said this on the show before, some coaches, legendary coaches even, are made for college. Some are made for NFL. Nick Saban is a great example of that. Nick Saban, probably the most legendary college quarterback in history at this point. In college quarterback, college coach in history, right? I don't think another college coach has ever reached his level. Nick Saban, when he did finally make his move over to the NFL, it was terrible. Garbage. He goes back to the University of Alabama, and boom, he's right back to being the Nick Saban. And the same can be said for Jim Harbaugh. Jim or John. I never know which one it is. Which Harbaugh is it?
They're all the same.
They're all the same.
Bunch of assholes.
Whichever Jay Harbaugh coaches the Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's the khaki
Yeah.
one.
that one. He made his attempt at the NFL was trash, but in college he is a god. All right, and that is what it is. I like Lincoln Riley. I love Lincoln Riley, in fact, but I do not think I really, truly, Ty, love you. Do not think he is transferable to the NFL. So, anyway, sorry.
We got our boy KB82.
Kenny Booker! What's up, buddy?
Sir. Did you see the Russell Wilson blank stare? That's what I'm saying. Those eyes were dead, man. It reminded me of that meme of Aaron Rodgers laying on the ground, like
with his chin strap up on
chin
his nose.
strap up. That's what he looked like. Like, oh shit, you just got yourself rocked. Like, do you know what your name is right now? That's kind of what it looked like.
Let's see. Daniel's asking Kenny, when did Russell Wilson get a concussion? It was the third quarter. I want to say with about a minute 20 left in the third quarter.
Yep.
So that sounds about right to me. Ty Y says, I do want Kyler Murray. Ty, no.
Bad.
Quit sipping that Kool-Aid, bruh. No. Oh.
I just hate him. I hate him.
We got to turn off that loop.
Loopy.
We're loopy.
We good. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want that Call of Duty playing little squirt on my team. I would be a hard pass for Kyler Murray. I'm not a Kyler Murray guy. His face just doesn't do it for me. He looks like he just couldn't care less of where he is. Couldn't care less. Like, I'd rather be ordering DoorDash and playing PS3 or PS4, whatever edition of PS they're on right now.
It's 5, Jay. God, read a book. Get out of the house.
Lord.
Was your trip to Tennessee the first time you've been out of the house in a decade?
Dude, I work from home. I'm a basement dweller. I just peek my head out, of the window, see if the mailman's gotten there yet. Oh, a package!
Are you serious right now, bro? You serious right now, bro? You serious?
It's pretty good stuff.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so loving it, loving what we've been seeing, love what we saw today. We lost, and it sucked. But you know what? I enjoyed this game. I did not end this game like I have the last few weeks, just sitting here saying to myself, why even bother? I'm ending this one going, that was a fun game. I can go to work tomorrow, and when everybody looks at me and goes, oh, Broncos lost again, I can be like, yeah, but. And Dave, I saw your comment. I know almost only, wow, look at that. Yeah. They're not real horns, y'all. Although, I'm just saying. Anyway, I did see your comment, Dave, and I know horseshoes and hand grenades. It's the only time that almost counts. But you know what? I can still feel good about it. A lot better. Maybe not great. Not great. I don't feel great, but I feel good compared to what I have felt. And I'm okay with that. I like that. Just saying.
Well, I just wanted to highlight Mr. Glassman here for a full Glassman type of comment here, because we talked about Josie Jewell, we talked about Alex Singleton, but I guess I didn't really think about, Travis Kelce had a couple catches. I remember him for a couple catches, but
1, 2, 3.
He certainly didn't, have an imprint on this game. I'll say that. And that's basically a win. I mean, if you can just neutralize Kelce for 2 catches, no touchdowns.
It's exactly what we have seen against guys like Devontae Adams in our first meeting with the Raiders. And, and against, what was his name from the Bengals? Jamar Chase, shutting down Jamar Chase the way we did. It's what this defense is good at. You take away their weapons. Now, granted, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. I take nothing away from him. I wish I could take his wife and his stupid brother away from him for his own good. But actually, I wish that would be for the world's own good.
For the good of the world. That's exactly
what
I was going to say.
For the good of the world.
Who cares about what affects Patrick Mahomes? Everyone else.
For the good of everyone on TikTok. I wish I could make Jackson Mahomes disappear. But I don't care about the good of everyone on TikTok. I hate that stupid app. But
well, that's true.
Yeah, I really do. I hate that app. But, like when you take away their best weapons, you force these quarterbacks to make uncomfortable choices. All right. Now, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. You take away Travis Kelce, and because he's Patrick Mahomes, we saw that one absolutely beautiful touchdown pass to McKinnon.
Yeah.
Where literally he got surrounded, and within
what are you gonna do?
A tenth of a second, he had 1/10 of a second to throw a perfect pass, and he did.
Yeah.
So he's going to find a way, even without his weapons. But there are a lot of other quarterbacks out there that are great, but you neutralize their weapons, they can't make it. They can't make nothing happen. And that's what this defense needs to continue doing, continue being.
Got our boy Daniel W up in here as well.
Our resident Seahawks fan.
Yep. He's seen this Russ before. He knows what we're talking about when we say, like, oh, wow, this is Russell Wilson. This is the Russell Wilson experience.
But he also is saying he's sorry to hear about the concussion.
Yeah.
So quick summary, Daniel. He wants a quick summary on thoughts of the game. Broncos started out really slow, looked like crap, went down 27-0 near the end of the second quarter, going into halftime. Broncos made 2 beautiful interceptions and then scored twice. And then going into the third quarter in our first drive, we get a third score. I think we scored 21 points in 4 minutes and 30 seconds or something like that. After which it went back and forth between the Broncos and the Chiefs, 27-21, 20, and it stayed that way for a while. Chiefs come back. They go up one more
for the Broncos.
Absolutely.
Best
they
game
come
of the
up
year.
absolutely, without question. Chiefs come back up with a few, and now they're up 34-21. Russell Wilson goes, proved why we still love him. And he made a beautiful run, attempting to get the touchdown, was tackled from behind by Frank Clark and bounced his head off the turf like a freaking basketball. And for a minute there, we all thought he was dead. Literally, the way his eyes looked, they were glassy and lifeless. And we thought Russell Wilson's now dead.
Yep.
And then he got up, he blinked his eyes a few times. We're like, okay, he's alive, but stupider. Anyway, after that, Brett Rippon converts one more touchdown, and we are down by 1 score, and it remains that way the rest of the game. Unfortunately, we could not. We were down by 6 points, and we could not bring it out. But definitely, as Jay said, Daniel, the best game by Russell Wilson or the Broncos all season. And it looked like vintage Russell Wilson. It looked like what you expect before he got hurt, what we expected as Broncos country, what we as fans expected to see when we traded for him. So there's your quick synopsis and summary.
Russell Wilson with 57 rushing yards in the game.
Indeed.
That is the difference between what Russ has been and what Russ has been for us this year. That's what we were talking about. The offensive line was what I would expect the offensive line to be. He got pressure.
Oh, no.
People came through. Luke Walkenberg has no clue or no business starting at guard as a rookie.
No,
I like him. He shouldn't be there. That's crazy to me.
No, he should. Well, they were kind of left in a tough spot,
dude,
with Dalton being out. And I get why they tried it. They wanted to see what they had. They did. It didn't work. They put in Natani Muti, who definitely needs that ding, but he also needs to really clean up his hands.
Yeah.
That one play where he literally held the guy and then drug him to the turf. Dude, that was so, you couldn't even pretend to disguise that. It was so blatant. It looked like it belonged in in SmackDown or on WrestleMania. Okay. Like, you can't be doing that, bud.
Yeah.
Clean that up. But other than that, it will look better.
It's similar things we saw from, Garrett Bowles early in his career. He would just manhandle people, like not even try to not hold.
You can't mask something like that.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of surprised he didn't get called for a personal foul on that, honestly. Yeah. The way he drug him down.
Russ finally decided that he didn't want to be a pocket passer today. He finally went back into being who he really is.
I think I saw him stay in the pocket maybe 10% of the time.
Yep.
He was moving out of that pocket and he was extending plays and using the entire field to his advantage. And it was great. Could definitely look better as always, but it was great.
Another unsung hero that I want to point out, KB82 says it too. Mathis, I thought, was terrific in tackling. Great tackling, great coverage, pursuit. I mean,
you got to
so
think there was that one pass right into the end zone for a touchdown that he broke up, saved us from being down another touchdown.
Yep.
Without drawing the pass interference too, I might add.
Yep. He turned around Juju? Right at the last moment.
Yeah. Was that on Juju that he was on that?
I think so.
Yeah, I'll have to go back.
Gosh, we've got a gem in him. We've got a gem.
We do, and I think that there's a lot of teams out there that eventually are going to be kicking themselves that they let him fall as far as he did.
Yeah, no, I mean to have both him and PS2, it's gonna be nice from a long term standpoint.
Andy, bringing Mitch Trubisky. Oh,
gross.
Well, you're making my beer taste bad, Andy.
But I mean, seriously, I'm not going to be shocked if I hear that Russell Wilson shut down for the year. That's not going to shock me.
No, but I also still kind of would like to see us at least our final game against Kansas City. I'd love to see him back in there just to try to, just for us as the fans to see us try to break that losing streak. That's the only reason. Because at this point, we're out. Okay.
Yeah, it's over. We're officially eliminated as of today.
We are now mathematically eliminated. Everything we've got left is our pride. And let's just be honest. The only thing that the Broncos fans have to really, really look forward to is the possibility of beating Kansas City. It's the last thing we've got.
Guys, this is a whole post game we've gone. For the first time this year, well, I guess maybe exception to the first 2 weeks, maybe. But
maybe.
Wow. Hackett, is he going to be fired tomorrow? I can definitely say Hackett is not going to be fired tomorrow after this game. Yeah. And that's such a good
He may still get fired at the end of the season, but
he will.
He's got a job, at least for now.
Yeah, but he's good. He's good tomorrow.
KB82 says Garrett Bowles used to think left tackle meant tackles everyone on the left side of the field.
That's GB zone? Yeah.
That's right. Oh, great. So, game balls, Jay, what do you think?
Game ball.
Let's give away. I need to go talk to my wife real quick because she's had them for a really long time, but I think it's time for us each to give away our balls.
Yep, let's go. All right, I got 2 game balls. I got 1 offense. I got 1 defense. My offense is going to be the Jerry Jeudy. I'm switching it up, actually. Jerry Jeudy with the game ball for me. I'm going to be excited to give him the game ball for the first time this year. Hat trick. Other than the outburst he had on the sideline, he was all right in my book. I was just real happy with Jerry Jeudy today. So that's my offensive game ball. Johnny, are you frozen in time here? I think he is. He isn't frozen in time. All right, I'll give my other game ball while he gets his IT maneuvers out of the way here. My defensive game ball. My defensive game ball could go to a lot of people. Josie Jewell is obviously an obvious. He had a career day, 2 interceptions. Just
thank God.
You good now?
Sorry. Yeah, I went down there to get my balls, and somehow the internet got unplugged. I'm joking. I don't know.
I gave my 1 game ball, but I just teased my second, so I didn't officially give it.
All right.
So
give your
why don't
first
you go
again.
for your first?
Well, what was your first? Because I don't want to give it to the same guy.
Well, I did an audible, and I'm giving it to Jerry Jeudy for a hat trick because I feel like we didn't give him as much love on this show as we should have.
Well, I kind of was trying to save that for who's got the balls.
Well,
let's talk about that for a minute.
Jerry Jeudy. Here's I guess what I'll say. we saw the same Jerry Jeudy as we've seen in the past, sitting next to Melvin Gordon pouting before he caught his first touchdown pass.
Sure.
He was real pissed. Someone put his arm on his back and he just threw that arm off and like he was heated.
He was acting like he was acting like a little
baby.
bitch.
Yep, he was.
But you know what? Here's the thing. Hackett walked over there and told him, I hear you. I see you. Just give it a minute, okay? Like, here's the thing. Guys like that, those guys to me are the OBJs of this game. Now, there's a lady that I work with. She's a Broncos fan. In fact, she's the only other person in my office that's a Broncos fan. But she's also, she also loves the Panthers, and she has some love for a few other teams too. But but she's also a big OBJ fan, and she constantly tells me, I don't want to see how nobody has signed him. And I'm like, are you kidding? He is the biggest diva. I get it. He's a great player. But everywhere he's been, the locker room hates him. They do not like being around him. They do not want to play with him.
Antonio Brown. Yep.
Like, I get it. Okay, OBJ would be a great dude to have simply for his skill set. But I don't want him in my locker room poisoning my locker room.
He's a rental. The Rams used him exactly how he's supposed to be used. Like,
oh my God, they used him like a Friday night special. I'm just saying.
Peace.
Yeah, like, but anyway.
I don't blame him.
I don't want, but Jerry Jeudy, if he's not careful, is going to end up on that same chopping block. But
he's talented. He's
very talented. And we saw tiny adjustment in his feet. And he had 2 yards of separation.
Yep. He's wide open every play.
Perfect.
He doesn't lie. He screamed that. He screamed that I'm wide open every play. But he is.
He is. He is the best, in my opinion. Orange glasses off. I'm not actually taking my glasses off, but orange lenses off. Jerry Jeudy's the best route runner in the NFL.
He's up there. Most certainly.
He's just struggled to make anything happen with it. We saw hopefully the emergence of that tonight. Jerry Jeudy gets the hat trick. 3 beautifully executed touchdown passes for receptions for touchdowns. Well done. Absolutely.
Who do you have on the offensive side of the ball?
Offensive side of the ball. This one goes to Russell Wilson. Absolutely. Yeah. There was a moment there I might have gone for Greg Dulcich or Marlon Mack, simply because though they definitely get honorable mentions
for sure
for what they accomplished, and we'll between Dulcich making his several very good catches. Like I said, he only had 2 misses, and those 2, one he got boxed down, the other one he just lost his footing and fell down. And then of course Marlon Mack for a 62-yard touchdown run or whatever it was. I need to look up the stat, but both of them get honorable mentions for what they contributed tonight. But Russell Wilson definitely gets the game ball. Russell Wilson, not only did he look like what we expected him to when we made that trade, but he put it all on the line tonight. He showed us
He showed us.
I do apologize, you guys. This cough is killing me. He showed us that he is willing to put it all on the line to try to win this game. Huge far step. Even when who was it that intercepted him? Was it Frank Clark? No. Nick Bolton? No.
No. Oh my gosh, that's gonna bug me. But yeah, the
Willie
tip
Gay.
drill.
It was Willie Gay.
The tip drill interception.
Yeah. But even when that happened, you saw him try to take on a man twice his size to take him down and get literally pushed, knocked to the ground with it. But as you've already alluded to, Jay, constant motion, constant moving. He rushed. He was making beautiful rushes, beautiful passes, good decision making. It was Russ's night before he got knocked the F out.
Yeah, it was. He brought what we wanted, and I'm like I said, if it doesn't appear again this year, if he doesn't play another snap this year, I'm good. Like, I'm good with that as a seed of hope to know that he can still do it. We just need to get him in the position where he's most comfortable. And he needs to admit to himself that he's most comfortable when he's doing that. He's most successful when he's doing that. He needs to stick to his own skill set. He's not Drew Brees. He is not going to be able to just be a pocket passer, and that's what he wants.
I don't want him to be Drew Brees. Okay, I didn't want him to come here to be Drew Brees. And
that's why he came here, though.
You
remember, he didn't want to be that in Seattle anymore.
Yeah, but that's what he's good at. No, but it's not even that. It's not even that. He was sick and tired of being in Seattle for a lot of reasons.
True.
That was just part of it. But I didn't want him to be Drew Brees coming here. And you know that I had been pounding the table to get Russell Wilson for long before that trade happened. I mean, you guys, I don't know how many of you actually remember. I actually appeared on Broncos Country Tonight, December 17th of last year. So almost a year to the day. Coming up, like 6 days from now, it's been a year since I was on BCT. And they asked me who I would want as a quarterback because everybody was still on the Aaron Rodgers train at that time. And I said, I want Russell Wilson. Bring Russell Wilson to Denver. Find a way. I don't care what it takes. I have been on the Russell Wilson train for a long time. Okay, we got a new name in here. Sean Dunnington. New name, Sean. Welcome to the NRW Crew. Sean. Here's to you.
Sean.
Cheers, yes. That finishes my beer. So Russell, I agree with him. He says, I mean, the Chiefs threw interceptions. The Broncos still lost. Broncos are hopeless. I don't think so. I think they're hopeless.
For this year.
This season is hopeless.
Absolutely.
Obviously. We are mathematically eliminated as of tonight. This season is now hopeless. I do not believe going into next season. I said it to Jay before we went live tonight. Right, Jay? I said, this season we have seen so many different versions of the Broncos offensively. So many different things to try to do, right?
Yep.
Whether or not Hackett stays, which I don't think he is, but even if he does, but whether he does or not, there have been so many things tried this season. This offseason is going to be a perfect opportunity for them to sit down and have like a pros cons list. This worked, this didn't. This didn't work, but this did. Get rid of that, never do that again, but do this, do more of this, do a variant of this. They're going to be able to figure it out going into next season a lot better. I truly believe that.
And just one quick sec. Hot take.
Oh,
we had already discussed this, but this is what I'm laying down, and this is perfect timing, I guess, to it. I really think that Evero's going to be head coach, Kubiak offensive coordinator, with his dad coming in to be a consultant, Gary, and we run it back. Everything we're doing right now is clicking
for you.
And what a beautiful transition it was to give the play calling to Clint. Our offense looks so much better. So much better.
All right. All right, we both give an offensive. Jay, give a defensive ball.
All right, defensive ball. Gonna go with PS2 because he continues to be PS2. I'm going to give every single shout out to PS2 as much as I can because I'm just so thankful to have a premium Pro Bowl shutdown corner that he's a given. He's just a given. So that's my guy. Go ahead.
He's just him. He's just him.
He is.
All right. Well, we've already given for my defensive game ball. We've already given this guy all the props in the world on this show today, but I got to give him a few more. Josie effing Jewell, man.
Of course.
All right, I'll be right there. Josie Jewell definitely gets my game ball. Dude was on it. He was everywhere he needed to be, and two beautiful, not even just beautiful interceptions, perfectly executed interceptions.
Yep.
Well done to Josie. Absolutely the green dot man on this team. Undisputed.
Yeah!
So that's our game balls.
All right. Guys, I'm so happy. This, again, soak this in, Broncos Country, because this might be the high for the year. This really might be. So soak it in. I'm going to sleep well tonight.
Yep.
I didn't have that many bad feelings to buck today, and I'm really
no, not
thankful
really.
for that.
I mean, I'm bucking good and bad feelings, but I'm bucking regardless.
Yep.
That being said, I got to get the buck out of here to go lay my children down to bed and hope that they keep from bucking all night.
Yep. Ditto. Life's a garden. Dig it.
Wow.
Thank you, folks. Really appreciate you being here. So go Broncos. Let's ride. We continue on the track. Let's go.